Start timer. Okay, so I gave them a little preview of of the gods, the elves, the orcs.
Yeah, they're yeah,
Their characters.
they're characters, all right. All right.
So now let's get to humanity. Oh, I have so many good things to tell you about humanity.
I'm already worried.
What got me is we're not far away from this being our future right now, Archimage. Zed.
Okay.
We're not far away, which is what scares the shit out of me. So basically, for humanity, Earth. Remember, this whole franchise take place in the Milky Way system.
Right.
So, there is one alien I forgot. I can't. I'm gonna call them the bugs because I can't remember their names right now. Basically, imagine if you remember, what was it? That movie with the space bugs with the hive mind. Battle troopers.
Starship Troopers.
Yes. Remember how basically they had a bunch of bugs taking over with the hive mind.
Yeah.
Basically, they have those in this universe. Basically, take the alien with the hive mind mentality, and mix them with dark side. So basically, every time you kill them, they come back stronger to whoever killed them.
So basically,
and their only purpose is to devour and to eat and to consume.
So how the heck do you kill them if they just come back stronger?
That's the question everyone's trying to figure out. That's endgame.
Well, pretty much, then you just have to freeze them in some way.
Well, they may come back able to unfreeze themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
So the reason I'm not talking about them is they've only just encountered them a little bit, and they don't know how many there truly are. As far as some people concerned, the rest of the universe is just full of them because they killed everything else, but they don't know yet. Everyone's in the 40K universe is all the fans currently think that's going to be the end game. That's going to be the thing to wipe out everything in the universe.
I can see that.
So, humanity. Oh yes. So just like our humanity, they start off on Earth. Just like our humanity, and pretty much everything about their humanity is the same as our humanity. The differences occur in they had nuclear war, which did okay. I'm trying to think because there's multiple things that happened to them. When they started to expand out into space, they had a bunch of technology, and they invented AI.
Okay.
And you can guess where this went. I'm talking Terminator. I'm talking robot apocalypse. So that's the first major apocalypse that happened. Is AI went rogue, and it almost wiped out humanity. There's not much told about that because that all happened before 40K.
I think that's actually something in Dune, but never mind that.
So basically, they ever since that happened, they made a big rule. They cannot make AI. Remember that. That's going to play a huge part in everything about humanity. They cannot do AI anymore because it almost wiped out their whole species.
Okay.
So then came the Dark Ages, where because they had bombed themselves into the Stone Age to deal with the AI crisis, they had essentially no technology left. So you had like a bunch of, like the entire human empire across the stars got fractured because you had some civilization devolving down into like a medieval serfdom where people would just regress to the most bare essential, being, essentially medieval people on the farm. You had Earth devolved into just a giant cesspool of gangs and giant mega cities called hive cities, where it's basically buildings on top of buildings on top of buildings, with people just all over each other. So what we'll turn it into very soon.
So Judge Dredd, essentially.
Yes, but on steroids.
Damn. Judge Dredd wasn't on steroids?
Not if you've seen their cities. No.
Damn.
I think Judge Dredd, he would see that and he'd be like, I love this place because I never have to sleep because there's always crime to deal with.
Damn.
Like, it's so bad. Like, on the lower levels of the Hive City, it's pretty much known you're going to have pretty much murder rape gangs all across the bottom levels of the city. So, you have that going on, where basically you have a bunch of people, all of humanity is fractured, they're scattered across the stars, and they don't have hardly any freaking technology. Or they have technology, but they don't know how to use it properly, or they don't know how to reverse engineer it, so they can make more of it. And they don't even use their nuclear arms anymore. They call them the Dark Age weapons that they don't want to use because it caused so much destruction. So then you have the guy who I'm just going to call the Emperor because I can't remember what his actual name is. And most people just call him the Emperor. Nobody know where he really came from. Nobody know, even if he's fully human, he can't be fully human. Most people think he's some type of space deity. It's truly unknown. He's basically I think 8 foot tall.
ShadowRFox,
yes.
Sorry, I'm going to stop you there. Like, I don't know what happened. Discord completely cut me out, so I missed the last, 2 minutes of what you said.
Okay, where did I last stop?
Crap, you were talking about humanity's not being able to, because the AI took over, they weren't able to take, they don't make any AIs, that's their first rule. And then you were saying that, so you've got a bunch of people out there, but they have technology, but they either can't reverse engineer it or they don't know how to work it, and that's when I got cut off.
Okay, so I'll just skip to, because I just exaggerated the point. So basically, that changed when the Emperor came along. The Emperor, we don't really know much about him. Where he came from, even if he's fully human. All we know is he's a peak physical, 8 foot tall demigod with absurd psychic ability.
Okay.
He basically was like, I'm going to lead mankind to the next major age for them. The next age of revolution, of evolution. So basically what he did was, he went through the trouble of uniting Earth. Because remember, everything's fractured at this point. Earth is, regressed back to the point of being a bunch of factions all fighting for power like we are now. He basically came in with essentially a group of warriors and just clean house. He pretty much came in and conquered all of Earth in no time. And he was known as, and eventually they called him the Emperor of Mankind.
Right.
And once he took over Earth, he basically said, I'm going to make it a crusade to go out to all of our planets and reunify them and bring them back under the Earth Empire.
That works.
Now, one big thing about him, even though he's essentially a demigod, he's like 8 feet tall, he's the peak masculine, strong, psychic person who can literally melt people's minds with his brain. He don't want people to call him a god. He want people to, he's like, I'm a scientist. I'm not a god. I'm not a deity. Despite having the power of a god. Strange,
I'm
but
not
okay.
gonna lie. This part sounds a little bit like Dune.
It probably is. I haven't read that much about Dune, so it probably is.
I wouldn't. Look, Dune, I apologize to all Dune fans out there, but even you guys got to admit your books are really involved and just like, oy vey, can they get. Like, it's interesting, but, like, this is like Dune territory. You just delve into a whole bunch of nonsense that just. It's hard to wrap your head around sometimes.
Okay. Okay, yeah, and that's with me trying to understand that. So we'll put that on a pause. Let me explain some of the shit about humanity and how they work. Remember how I told you they wasn't allowed to do AI anymore?
Right.
So then the question become, well, how the hell are they gonna even go into space? Because you need basic computers to do, well, almost anything. Especially when it comes to space travel.
Grab someone's brain and hook it up to a computer.
Zed and Archimage! Are you a scientist from the Warhammer 40k universe?
No, I watched an episode of Doctor Who.
That's how all their technology work. They don't have computers, but what they do have is an excess of people and criminals who they don't want to waste time killing, nor do they want to waste resources putting them in jail. So the next best alternative is let's hook them up to a device and make them into essentially a slave / computer.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So basically, you have a computer. Guess what the hard drive is? Yep, it's some guy's brain. You have a medbot. Nope, that's a medbot that's have a human corpse in it.
Okay, like, did no one see RoboCop 2? This doesn't turn out well.
Oh, yeah, if only you knew. So, alternatively, unlike RoboCop, yes, their consciousness is still active, but they just can't do anything. They did enough of a good job lobotomizing the brain that effectively the brain, all of its tasks is now dedicated to working the machines. Their consciousness, while it may still be there, it's literally trapped. So literally, you could have a machine. It may glitch out on you and go, help me, help me. I've been alive for 40 years in this agonizing hell. You'll just smack that computer and it'll go back to working. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, okay.
That's all of their technology.
That's horrifying.
It's super horrifying. I just found that out like a couple of days ago. That scares the hell out of me. And I'll show you why later on. Playing one of the games I am. But so with that dystopia known to you, next thing come in, you have the
Again,
Emperor,
that is Doom.
the Emperor. Okay, well now we get to something that's not probably like Doom. The Emperor wanted to expand out to reconquer everything, so he came up with well, I need multiple armies to lead such a crusade to reunify the empire. So I'll know what I'll do. I'll essentially clone myself, but not so much just. I don't want copies. I want children. So essentially, I'll take my gene and make myself 20 sons. And I will basically not only make 20 sons, I will also give them the ability to make their own army of essentially superhumans. So we can conquer everything and we can reunify the empire. Is that also like Dune? Oh, did I cut out? Oh, jeez. Well, I think I may. Oh,
You may
I
have
got
cut out.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I got
Can
you
you
now.
hear me?
Got you back.
No, I heard you the whole time. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
Okay, no, I'll say no, that's not like Dune, and sorry, I don't know why you couldn't hear me for a second.
Okay. Well, then, throw in some Space Gauze shenanigans, and they made
Right.
the mother the woman the emperor used as the mother in her post-birth depression. They corrupted her just enough. The Chaos Space Guard corrupted her just enough to make her send all of her sons out to the far reaches of space, away from the Emperor. They basically tricked the mother in her depressed state of doing that. So then the Emperor's crusade was both a crusade to unify the Empire of Maine and to regather his sons. So his sons got sent to the far reaches of the human empire, away from their father. So this basically goes into explaining why each one of his sons are so different from each other. So the 20 sons. Oh jeez, let's see how many of these I can fucking remember off the top of my head. That's gonna be the real joy to figure out.
Okay.
Basically, the 20 sons became the leaders of each of the Space Marines. And Archimage, Zed, I show you the Space Marines, the people with the big clunky armors.
Yes.
Basically, the Space Marines are Master Chief, or Doom Guy. They are 7 feet tall, genetically engineered superhumans. Eventually, each one of them would be made from the gene seed of the sons of the Emperor. Each son went to their own planet, and they most of them conquered their own planet. So the first one, oh geez, I can't remember what his name was, but he basically, I remember he conquered his planet. The second one, nobody knows what happened to the second one, but he basically died. The third son conquered their planet. Fourth son conquered the planet. Fifth son conquered the planet. Basically, 2 of the sons died. All the other 18 conquered the planets. And the Emperor's crusade to... Basically, the Emperor went across the stars, uniting with each one of his sons. And imagine, basically, a 8-foot-tall, giant, Zeus-like figure showing up to your planet.
Okay, sorry, hold on, I got disconnected again.
Disconnected? Still there or disconnected again? I'm gonna say disconnected.
I think he connected long enough for him to tell us he disconnected.
Yeah, he disconnected. So, give everyone else a reference. Our internet have been shit lately, and we have no idea why.
There's really no reason for it either.
Yeah, there's no reason for any of it. We thought it would be the weather, but the weather's been really good lately, so we have no idea what's causing this.
There's no reason for any of this shit.
We can only assume it's our internet service provider being shitty.
I fully believe that.
I fully believe that as well. So while we wait, I will keep building and see what I can do with this concert hall, which have not been earning a lot of money. And I gotta figure out what's causing me. Oh, I think someone just connected.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, like literally, I could hear you guys the entire time, but you couldn't hear me.
Yep.
Okay.
So, okay, so the last thing, what were you talking about as Zeus? Like, last thing I heard was the 7 feet tall, breeding, etc.
Okay, so basically,
minutes after you said the word Zeus.
I was just explaining the way the Emperor pretty much was unifying the planets. He would go to a world of mankind and basically say, hey, I'm the Emperor. You all used to be part of an empire and it got fractured. But now I'm coming back to restore order. You can listen to me. Or, hey, I have a giant army, a space fleet that can literally burn your atmosphere or blow your planet up. Or I have these giant robots the size of a freaking bigger than Godzilla walking around. So do you really want to fight me, or do you want to just say Hell Emperor? So most factions are Hell Emperor.
I can't imagine why.
Oh yeah, the few that fight, it's a bloodbath.
I would think so.
And as he unite with his sons do the same thing. And, you know, hey, we got armies of 7 feet tall superhumans. Gee, I wonder who we're going to agree with.
I can't imagine who you'd agree with at that point.
So, they go around pretty much uniting most of the human empire.
Right.
And it's all coming up roses for them. Eventually, it's going so well, the emperors think his sons can handle the rest of the mop-up. And he retired back to Earth to work on a secret project. A golden throne, which is supposed to be a...
Toilet.
Kind of.
So, wait, really?
And no, I was joking. I wanted to see if you would think that was serious.
You know, after all this, I almost did.
No, it was a giant chair to amplify psychic energy. This was going to help him essentially pull a cerebro. And
so
be
like
able
Krang, I was thinking Krang the Conqueror.
Essentially, yeah. Where he would basically be able to pull like a Xavier and communicate with everyone across the galaxy.
Sounds horrid.
He will also be able to help navigate, because at this point they've been having a hard time navigating warping because they don't want to go through space hell to get from point A to point B.
Nice.
Being in this chair would basically give him enough amplify his psychic power enough that he could pacify the Chaos Space Guards, so that he could use the warp technology so that people could travel and they could connect all of humanity back together. So, needless to say, the Chaos Guards, who spend most of their time fighting with each other, could agree on one thing. They don't want humanity to unite, because that's way too much order in this universe that they want to be pure chaotic.
Right.
So they actually do team up just enough to fuck with the Emperor's plan. So the Emperor chose his favorite son, Horus, to lead the crusade while in his absence, while he went back to Earth to finish up his space chair. Horus, during his conquest, he was injured. And during his time of injury, one of the space guards managed to show him the future. In this future, humanity has regressed. They went back to the Dark Ages. They had become religious zealots, where they pray to the Emperor as if he's a god. Remember, at this point, the Emperor's, he want nobody to treat him like a god. He hate religion, mainly because he saw whenever humanity go to religion, they go to their worst trait, where they start committing war crimes to each other. They start committing religious wars. Basically, the worst of religion is what he's seen from it.
To be fair, I would challenge that, but for this, I think we'd be here all day if I challenge that. So for the sake of that, this.
And I know what argument you're going to make. Just know this: when he saw religion during his time on Earth, he saw the worst of religion. He saw what we wouldn't even refer to as a religion. We would refer to it as a cult.
Yeah, no, I figured what he saw. Like
And
I said,
the problem is, in this universe, more than likely, if someone goes into a religion, it's a cult.
Yeah, so that's why I'm not really going to challenge.
Yeah, no, and I know which arguments you would make. And in a sensible world where you had sensible people, that would make sense. But this is 40K, and people are stupid as fuck.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, no, it's not worth making an argument about. So, like, no. But for all the religious people out there, don't put it. You know what? Nobody's gonna watch this. Why am I saying this?
Yeah, no, there's no worries.
There's no way.
So then we have the Horus Heresy, where because he saw this future, he's going to try desperately to prevent this future by rebelling against his father. And of course, what the future he saw was a self-fulfilling future, where if he had never seen the future, it would have never happened. And you know, you've seen every type of story. In their struggle to prevent the future, they cause it.
Pretty much, yeah.
So we'll end this part here, right before the Horus Heresy, where basically he rebelled and he takes several of his brothers with him in this rebellion against his father. And we see the downfall of mankind, and this is going to set the stage for what 40K is. So we'll end this part right now.